Did you know that in less than 30 minutes, the Senate returns to work? Where do they stand on health care? That's an issue Americans say they care so much about. Jessica Tarlov is a Democratic strategist and senior director of research for Bustle.com. Mercedes Schlapp is a Republican strategist and former spokesperson for President George W. Bush. Mercedes, I'm going to start with you. Repeal, replace, whatever you're going to do, this is signature now for President Trump. He said he'd get this done.
Right. Well, welcome to the Senate, which is a very slow-moving vehicle to pass legislation. And you're dealing with a lot of very opinionated senators who want to make sure that they have their voices heard. Actually, what you're hearing in the Senate right now is the fact that are they going to move towards what they call a targeted market stabilization bill, something that would focus on regulatory relief for the insurers, or are they going to move towards more of the comprehensive health care reform bill, which is, I think, the goal of Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and the Republicans in the Senate. And this is what they're doing right now. Right now, Harris, they are drafting up the paperwork around the comprehensive bill, circulating it to the senators to get their feedback. So it sounds to me like it's going to be a much longer process than what we had anticipated in the past.
Well, and the American people might be okay with that if in the end of all of this, they actually get something better. So how sincere, Jessica, are Democrats when they say, hey, if you don't repeal it to Republicans, we'll work with you on repair?
Oh, I think they're being completely sincere. I just don't want us to get sidetracked too much with Donald Trump's tweets. I think that that's actually incredibly bad for the Democratic Party. We needed a deliverable to win in 2018. It can't just be, look, Donald Trump messed up through the last 2 years. Put us back in control of the House, maybe the Senate there. We have to give them something. So we need to work with them on tax reform. We need to work with them on health care, that infrastructure plan. That could be exciting as well. But I don't think that we can stand up there and go out stumping and say, did you see how bad Donald Trump is on Twitter? Because that's not a reason to elect you. I agree with what Mercedes said. And in terms of the dealing, I think the most important thing for Republicans to kind of come to grips with is, A, the Medicaid cuts, and what's going to happen with pre-existing conditions, because just kicking it down to the state level isn't enough.
Because of the breaking news this hour covering the White House press briefing, we're a little compressed in time. You mentioned infrastructure. So on Wednesday, the president goes to Ohio and Kentucky to meet with transportation officials and to talk about pushing for that $1 trillion overhaul on America's roads and bridges and so forth. So I just want to get that news nugget in there. Mercedes and Jessica, we'll bring you back when we have more time. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Harris.
Thank you, Harris.